Welcome to the special edition of Hounds TV as we commemorate the 80th anniversary of the Allied invasion of Dieppe, also known as Operation Jubilee. The Dieppe Raid was deemed a failure due to heavy casualties that were suffered.
For decades, a special mission behind this raid remained a secret. James Lacer captured the story of Jack Niesenthal in his novel Green Beach, through which he reveals the inside mission of the Dieppe Raid.
Jack Niesenthal was a 24-year-old flight sergeant of Britain's Royal Air Force. Niesenthal was chosen for this particular mission because of his knowledge of electronics and radar. The Allies needed a radar expert to investigate the German radar system known as FRIA. This system had a range of 125 miles and was able to pick up British ships shortly after they left England.
Niesenthal was to collect information about FRIA to further the Allies' understanding of the system's capabilities and weaknesses. The mission was deemed of vital importance and was top secret. Niesenthal was given a 10-man escort from Company A of the Canadian 2nd Division's South Saskatchewan Regiment. Because Niesenthal knew important British military information, they were ordered to not allow Niesenthal to fall into enemy hands. They were to shoot him on the spot if he was captured.
Now, sitting in the sun, remembering all these events, Jack felt as though every individual strand of his life, his eagerness to emulate his patriotic uncles, his knowledge of radar, his physical fitness, was now to be drawn together for a grand purpose. It was as though all that had gone before was but a preparation for what he had now been asked to do. At 11 o'clock next morning, Jack was back in the Air Commodore's office. "I've thought it over, sir," he reported. "I'd still like to go."
Before dawn, August 18th, the Allied forces launched Operation Jubilee. 6,000 men sailed aboard 237 vessels towards Hitler's Fortress Europe. Immediately facing them were 1,500 German soldiers of the Dieppe garrison. By the early morning of the 19th, British ships began landing the beach. Niesenthal and A Company were to land at a specific spot called Green Beach.
German fire began shelling the soldiers as they were landing, turning the beach into a treacherous death trap. Niesenthal and A Company realized their landing point was 500 yards too far to the west. They could see German radar towers pivoting in the distance, but their objective seemed almost hopeless as barbed wire and machine gun nests protected the German radar.
Despite these odds, these men managed to get close enough to the radar, and Niesenthal noticed that Freyar's motion was limited to 180 degrees, and that it paused as it focused on individual targets. This meant that the radar was a target of discriminating, precise instrument. It also meant that a cable connected the radar to the operator's cabin.
He decided to attempt to cut the radar's landlines to its command posts. This action would force the German radar queue to use radio to relay its information on Allied air movements. The British could then intercept this radio information, providing an accurate idea of the radar's performance.
Niesenthal could see the critical cables roughly 120 feet from where he was hiding. He crawled on all fours past hidden machine gun nests. Miraculously, he made it undetected to the cable support just outside the radar's perimeter. He cut the radar's 6 outside communication wires and quickly rejoined his remaining companions.
With their objective complete, the orders of Niesenthal's escorts remained unchanged, but now the idea of capture seemed inevitable. Much of A Company had already been wounded or killed, and it was only a matter of time until the rest of them met the same fate. After intense battle during their return to the beach, only Niesenthal and one remaining bodyguard made it back for British rescue.
Operation Jubilee was a disaster. More than 3,600 Allied soldiers were killed, wounded, or taken prisoner.
Upon his return, Niesenthal went to London and reported to the Air Ministry building for a full debriefing. It was made clear that severing the landlines provided the Allies with valuable information.
The British were able to listen to the now open German radio, and this would allow them to locate German Luftwaffe planes. Thanks to Niesenthal's efforts, the Allies put effort into creating radar jamming equipment that they used against the Germans.
Because of the British Official Secrets Act, the courageous bravery of Niesenthal and his South Saskatchewan comrades remained untold for 25 years.
That's it for the special episode of Hounds TV. I'm Oliver.
And I'm Dave.
We'll see you next time.
I know, tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song.
again.
We'll meet again.
Don't know when.
No when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny. No, we'll meet again some sunny. No, we'll meet again some sunny day.